Hello everyone, Pigmoney here with the first monthly update on the Stock Investment Challenge. The month of January was rather volatile due to the change of government in the US, and as I expected, there were some events and announcements that shook the markets. Nonetheless, I still managed to finish in green with a month-over-month P&L increase of 3.5%. In this episode, I will go through the positions I have opened and closed, do a bit of chart analysis trying to make some sense of what the patterns are telling me, and I will introduce a very exciting stock that in my opinion could skyrocket in the coming years and share my latest addition to my radar watchlist. Some of the stocks in my portfolio have been going up, which provided me with an opportunity to scale out of some positions where I have been dollar cost averaging. I closed some stocks of AMC, SolarEdge and Corsair, booking some profit on each, nothing serious, but perfect for optimizing the overall P&L on the core positions. With this rebalancing, my average P&L on AMC sits at 24%. I will keep this running for a while. SolarEdge is at -12. There was a nice rebound, but apparently it started testing the low ranges again. This is a long-term play, so I'm not worried. In case it drops below my lowest purchase price, I will just buy some more. And finally, Corsair is at 27%. I expect this last red position to break even within a couple of months, and I will close that one as well, leaving the remaining lots to be comfortably in green. I have added some entries to AST Aerospace and both 5,000 shares of Atos, a French IT company that has been through the trenches but sees a chance of a proper rebound in the next years. Because of all of the sudden tariff announcements by President Trump, the markets were shaking, trying to make sense of the new reality for the next years ahead. However, the stock market held up pretty well. I consider this uptrend channel for both the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 to be the main range for the price action. Given the time frame in which it has been staying pretty intact, I will not be surprised if the price actually breaks down for a correction soon. My thesis is that as long as the Nasdaq and the S&P holds itself in this uptrend channel, my stocks are fine, and I don't really need to consider closing a lot of them just to save profit. I am not investing heavily while we are here. Right now, my only job is to monitor the price action of my individual stock picks, rebalance where the opportunity rises, and just keep an eye out for deviations. Once this structure breaks to the downside, however, that's when I will pull out the cannons and hunt for new entries. Until then, it's just optimization of the current portfolio with small occasional buys into bargain deals. My stock pick for this episode is Archer Aviation. I came across this one basically by accident while doing some alternative research on undervalued stocks. Turns out, Archer is a pioneer in advanced aviation and their flagship product is an air taxi. Imagine a giant drone that can take 5 people on board and fly them from one place to the other in the fraction of time compared to other commuting methods. Now, what makes this company special is that they already have a ton of certificates and approvals from different regulatory bodies, and they also struck partnership with United Airlines, for instance. It appears like it is basically just a question of time until they can start monetizing. Once the first air taxis appear over the skies of major cities like New York and hype starts building up, I expect nothing less than a parabolic rise in the stock price. I had a lucky entry at $2.96 per share. Today the price is around $9.50, so I'm up more than 200%. If you're wondering why I invest in XTI Aerospace, the answer is that I'm betting on the success of Archer and that it will drag along all the other companies that have similar profiles. My latest addition to my radar is AST Space Mobile. Recently, they made headlines with Vodafone by making the first video call from an area with zero mobile coverage without using nothing but a satellite connection. This is huge and it can basically fill all the gaps of broadband data service that standard mobile antenna towers could never do to 100%. Imagine this type of broadband channel anywhere in the world. Just as Starlink revolutionized the way we access the internet in remote locations, I think the same could be applied to mobile usage as well. This is why ASTS is now on my watch list. As soon as they have an RSI and Bollinger Band combination that is interesting for an entry, I will start my DCA ladder. Alright guys, this was the second episode of the Pigmoney Reloaded stock series. I hope I could share some valuable information with you. Unfortunately, etoro had to introduce fees for opening and closing positions for European investors. This will make me re-evaluate if I want to stay with etoro or look for other alternative platforms. More on that in the next episode. Don't forget that I have made my chart tracker sheet public. You can check each position in my portfolio. I make updates on a weekly basis so you can follow how my stocks are doing if you are interested. All the useful links are in the description field. See you in March. Until then, take care. Pigmoney out.